So I'm riding with Brian Childress, former Valdosta Police Chief, Valdosta City Police Department, and we wanted to talk a little bit today about the burden of proof.
Right. You get what you've got is you got some folks that I really don't believe understand this. And in the United States criminal justice system, you have several burdens of proof. And this surfaces a lot, and you get a lot of questions because folks will, even today, call me and say, how are these cops that you see on YouTube and they're getting charged with a crime and they're getting off? Well, it's simple. So let's talk about burden of proofs. And we'll first start with the lowest level of burden of proof, which is reasonable suspicion. And that is the minimum level that law enforcement and really the government need to intrude on a citizen's rights. Reasonable suspicion basically means that you could be stopped as a citizen if a reasonable person, i.e. a police officer or someone with the government, determines that there may be a crime afoot. And an example of that would be, okay, that a police officer is driving into a parking lot at 2 o'clock in the morning and a car comes flying out behind a business. Can the officer stop that car? Well, yeah, they can stop them under that reasonable suspicion standpoint. And so does that mean that you're guilty of a crime? No, it just means that gives an officer a right to stop someone. The next part in the criminal justice system is probable cause. This is where there's a big misconception in America regarding when people get charged and how are they getting off, i.e. police officers, for example. Probable cause in layman's terms simply means more likely than not someone's committed a crime. And there's really not a percentage amount like 60%, 70%, something like that. It just means more likely than not someone's committed a crime. If in our criminal justice system in the United States, which I think is correct, that if a reasonable person would determine that more likely than not someone's committed a crime, then a police officer can arrest you. And it's also important for folks to understand that arrest also means citation. To me, they're the same thing. For example, you can't write someone a ticket in this country unless you have probable cause. You also can't arrest someone in this country unless you have probable cause. The big misconception is, okay, in the public, well, they're being arrested, so they're obviously going to be found guilty. Not true.
And I know that because we all got arrested for trying to talk in City Hall.
Right, but here's the thing. So then that becomes the question. Well, these police officers have been charged, and just so we understand, to file charges against someone, it could be done several ways, right? Write someone a ticket, write someone a city summons or a county summons, arrest someone, even indict them in the grand jury. That's just probable cause. That doesn't mean you've done it. It just means more likely than not you've committed a crime. And then this is where the last burden of proof falls in the criminal justice system, which is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And that is the requirement to convict someone of a crime. So when folks ask me, well, how are these police officers getting off? My response is, well, it's easy to charge someone because the burden of proof is a lot less. For proof beyond a reasonable doubt, that means that looking at the facts in a case, that considering all the facts, there's really no other explanation than a person's committed a crime. And then that's how you're convicted in court. It's the same thing as in the system is like this. You're either given a ticket or you're arrested based off probable cause. You go to court and a judge or a jury will determine, was there proof beyond a reasonable doubt? And if the answer is no, and that threshold is a lot higher, and that one I give a percentage around 90%. See, a lot of folks think, well, it's absolute. No, it's not absolute. Again, proof beyond a reasonable doubt simply means that considering all the facts, that the only real explanation available is that person committed a crime. And so that's the thresholds. And the last threshold or requirement in our system, not the criminal justice system, is the civil portion. And the good example of that would be the O.J. Simpson case. Well, how was O.J. found not guilty in the criminal case and found guilty in the civil case? Because in the civil case, it's based off the preponderance of evidence. And what that basically means is it's 51-49%. They look at a percentage. So if the percentages weighs toward the person did something wrong, then you can get then you'll win a civil case, i.e. you'll win monetary
Gotcha.
monetary damages. The plaintiff will. So it's important folks understand that. Once you understand that and you think about that, then I think it answers a lot of questions of what's going on in the country.
Okay, well, thank you. And we'll be back with some more. Okay, y'all have a good day. Bye.